Organic Community Radio. It is that time for us to get into the first conversation of the day. And right now, Sinaye Miranda Lusiba, who is the Managing Director of Stranjay Consulting. And in the Chilo Kendati, we are still on the same theme. It is Women's Month. So, Sifokase, well, I think it women a business is for you. And right now, we're going to be taking the perspective Yakeke Miranda Lusiba. She is already with us in studio. Miranda Mandubuli Sisi.
Hello.
Diyaphila njani wena? Masikwamkeleke enkqubeni. Thank you so much for joining us and agreeing to be with us today.
No problem. Anytime.
Anytime. Let me give you an opportunity to introduce yourself a bit to our audience and then also touch on the business. So you're going to tell us a bit about yourself and then what business do you do?
Okay. So Miranda Lusiba, originally ngwalapha eQueenstown. Ndifunde kwalapha eQueenstown. Ndiyathanda ukutsho with pride into yoba product yakwaKomani naseQueenstown Girls High.
Okay.
And then ndafunda PR, and then after ndifunde PR, I've been pursuing that for about 25 years.
Okay.
And I've been running my business for about 10 years now.
Wow.
Not
Wow.
easy, but
yeah, but 10 years is good. It's a good number under your belt. There's a lot that you can teach the next person. All right. And the business itself is a PR agency.
Yes, it's a PR agency. We specialize in communications, media training, media relations, crisis communication. Remember we talked about that?
Yes, we did.
So we help people with a lot of that. But like we're talking now, our work involves a lot of writing. So I write a lot for,
For
a lot
clients.
of companies.
All right. Thank you so much for that, man. Happy Women's Month.
Thank you very much to you too, eh?
Same. Thank you. And then, what does Women's Month mean to you? Like, especially Women's Month, and everyone is busy celebrating, and there's a lot of noise around women. It's the month of women. Do you even relate to it? Okay, it's like, okay, whatever, one of those times.
No, you know what? I think Women's Month is important because we need to take a step back, man, and look at the things that we've done.
Okay.
I think in most cases, we're very hard on ourselves. We don't celebrate our strength. We don't celebrate our resilience. We go through a lot.
Yeah.
And we still succeed regardless of all the things that we need to juggle as women. So I think for that, now we need to be celebrated. So I think this month is very important because naturally, since that, it gives us time to look back.
Okay.
Because I think we're always rushing and going to the next thing, that we don't sit back and just look at the things and reflect on all the things that we've achieved and celebrate that. It doesn't matter what is small wins or big wins, but the important thing is that you wake up every day and condolences.
Wow, that is lovely. And Nyani, I think
Yes.
because the race never ends.
Yes.
And yes, the race never ends until obviously you intentionally take time to pause and say, okay, race, I know you are so pale, but can we just pause and do the reflection? I think that's very important. And I think also in doing that, ufumana amandla okuqhubekeka, because you are able to, appreciate, celebrate what you've done, and it gives you strength that you can still do more.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, talk to us about women that inspire you, that you look up to, that you feel about these women, they influence you, and why?
So I'd say my mom and also my grandmother.
Okay.
But mostly my grandmother, because we don't
Okay.
His strength and his tatay from Bona is that both of them were single parents, but they raised Tina, and looking at us, I think they did a great job.
Okay.
So look at their children, I think they've done a great job, especially my grandmother, because she was a housekeeper, she was not educated, but abantwana bakhe bonke wenza sure bafundile. Uyabona? So babehola imali encinci, but beyicukuceza for some reason and
make
do great things, So I think I take inspiration from that, where if wakwazi achieve the things that she did with the little money that she has, then there's nothing stopping me from achieving the same, if not more.
Wow. So those are the two ones that you want to mention. And when we're looking at the purpose of women, what would you say women are on earth for? Like, like what are we here to do and be as women?
Yeah, when I was thinking about this question, I was like, the one thing that comes to my mind is our role as nurturers. Because
Okay.
now we nurture everyone, you know. It doesn't matter if it's at home or it's at work. We have just this thing of nurturing people. You have your own stuff, but you still want to coach, mentor, help other people. It's just naturally in us, you know. So I think that's probably what makes us different, and also what makes us special as women. We can't help ourselves.
Yeah. We're always nurturing
Yes.
everywhere and everyone. Tell me about the importance of kuyo yonke lonto, that nurturing that you are doing, you know, that taking care of others, that always being there for abanye abantu, wanting to mentor, wanting to kuba busy ke ngoku elifini yakho as umuntu ongumama ne.
Yes.
Now, how do you actually, Kanye, what would you say, or would you say it is important for one to be able to take care of themselves as a woman? In your
Yes.
you know, would you say it's important about umane uthathe ixesha ukuba uzohoye wena ke ngoku, the individual, the woman?
Yes, it's very important because Tina, naturally, we're always taking care of other people.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can't pour from an empty cup. You know, that's why it's important to take a step back and just focus on yourself and be selfish for, you know, just for a short while.
A good selfish.
Yes.
That's a good kind of selfish.
Yes, because you're pouring into this cup, you know, that needs to overflow so that you can give to other people. How do you give when you finished yourself? You know,
When you've got
when you
nothing
are
to give.
done and you are finished and tired. So sometimes you need to run away even from your husband, from your kids, and just go away on your own. Just me time. Even if you go there and sleep. You know, just switch
You'll
off.
be recharged. Yes. And with mental health, talking about that as well, how important is it for women to keep their mental health in check, you know, managing and balancing it out and making sure man, I know, like, I'm always as much as possible in the right mental state?
It's very important, very, very important. And when I was thinking about this, I was actually thinking about the fact that as women, especially if you're a perfectionist, we're too hard on ourselves. You know,
True.
we don't want to accept Tuguti at times when you take on something, especially if it's something new, that you're going to fail. And when you do fail, it's okay. You know, you have to
Don't
dust yourself and
Oh gosh.
you know, and
Such a
you know,
scary feeling, but
yes,
it's natural. It's
It
okay.
is
It's okay.
natural. I mean, failure is scary for everyone, but I think we tend to be too hard on ourselves when something doesn't go wrong, it doesn't go right, you know. But look at other people; they go through stuff every day.
They
You know?
come out the other side.
Yes,
Boom,
it's supposed to happen to you as well. Unfortunately, as hard as it is.
All right. And when we're talking about Lomcibwe self-care, because we're taking care of others, because we're nurturing abanye abantu all
Yes,
the time as women,
yes.
kuba khona nto uba now when it has to look this way, I'm always directed here.
Yes, yes.
Now when it has to look this way, I feel like, okay, what does self-care even mean? Like, what do I do? I don't even know where to start. What kind of activity?
Yes.
Like, what does it look like? And isn't it expensive? So can you help us with some self-care tips or ideas that women can be able to just to open thinking?
Yes. So I always say it's important uyodlala neentanga zakho.
Okay.
Yeah. Just get out of that space, because that space, it's a space where there's so many responsibilities that are expected from you. So get out, go and have dinner, go and have breakfast with a friend. It doesn't have to be something expensive,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But something else that I was talking to my friend about is the fact that we work so hard, we make money, we can't even put aside 300 rand for you to go for a massage. Just for you to gain that strength again. You know,
Yeah.
it's something that we should be doing. If you're not able to do it every month, at least maybe every second month. You know, even if it's a head and neck massage, because that's where our stress
is, yeah.
You know, just go for that. It's like 200 rand or 150. You know, it's not that expensive. But we forget about those things because we're always worried about ingxaki ezingapheliyo.
Ephelileyo
Yes.
isihlangu somntana esifuna ureplace school fees.
Enjalo.
You know?
You at times you need to be selfish and do that. Something that I used to do, I haven't done, but I'm thinking what I'm gonna go back to it, is also just walking. I was walking with a friend of mine in the mornings, you know, before starting work.
Okay.
Then I'd drop off my daughter at school, and then I'd go to her place, and then we'd walk. It's refreshing because it's fresh air in the morning, you know.
Yeah.
So some of us are not gym fanatics. It's not easy for us to do gym as hectic as other people do. We don't run, but find something that will give you that peace of mind where you can just find yourself, you know.
Wow, that's beautiful. I think that is beautiful and that is important.
Yes.
And I like the fact that you're throwing in walking there.
Yes.
And you know, yeah, walking is so is so refreshing.
It is.
Sibona is interesting simple because walk all the time, but
Yes.
when you do it intentionally in the wee hours of the morning and ufuna that serenity,
Yes.
that as a space, you know,
that fresh air in the
fresh
morning.
air, yes,
yes.
it contributes immensely to who
I
you
find
are.
I find it soothing.
It,
I really
it is.
I find it really soothing.
It is. Both anything that puts you out in nature, it
Yes.
contributes back. It feeds. It feeds you. I like the fact that there's no cost to that.
Yes,
but
yes.
it's something that
so there's so many things that you can do that
actually
don't require money.
You know, because I think any perception yana abanye abantu babanayo is the fact that hi. I can't take care of myself because I'm broke. So how do I do it taking care of? It doesn't have to be expensive.
Yes.
It's just about nje uthathe ixesha for yourself.
Yes. And also just budget for things, you know, because you can even do a short lift. This other time I wanted to write, and I wanted to be in a space, you know, where I can write properly. And I just booked a B&B in Alo North, went on my own, and I asked them for a room that's far away from other people, that's quiet.
That's great.
And then I was there for like 2 days.
And you were able to achieve whatever
it made
is
such a
that
difference. And Alo North is not far.
Yeah.
I just drove, and I wanted to be in a place where I don't know people, so that I'm not tempted to go and see people, because I was there for the purpose of resting and also writing. Yeah, but so things like that is short lived. Just look at things that you can do that are not so far away. You don't need to go to Cape Town for you to. Eastern Cape is also beautiful in its own.
It is.
You know,
it is, and we haven't explored all of it.
So explore those kinds of things.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now there are so many different kinds of challenges that women go through. A lot of challenges. So, to the extent to which you're comfortable, just share with us, Mhlawumbi, a challenge. It doesn't matter on what area, your personal life, your business life, your raising kids, whatever it is, that you would want to reference, and just share a challenge and indlela that you overcame it, or how you came out of that challenge, or you went through that challenge.
From a personal perspective, is definitely raising my child. It's a girl.
Do you have one?
Yes, I've got one. So she's a girl, and she is in varsity right now. And you know, the last few years she was in high school, so a teenager. So I was hard on myself, because I was like, am I doing a great job? You know, am I doing the right things? Am I protecting her enough? You know, I think once in a while, then I'd remind myself, oh, but you know what? Even now, when I was worried that when she was going to varsity, how is she going to cope on her own and whatnot? Yes, I was like, you know what? There's something that Uli Ann said this other time on Morning Live. She said, we have to let our kids go and hope and pray that the values that we instilled in them, they're going to apply them when they're on their own. That's the only thing you can do, because you can't hold on to them forever.
And the stressing you're like stressing yourself
it's not
is
gonna help. I had to let go at some point. Well, I started talking to myself like a year in advance.
Letting go. Because when they get out of you know, right now mine are very young.
Yes.
I think my eldest is 9 years, and I feel like I could fast forward them to that stage where they could actually just go and be at university, you know.
It's gonna be so sad when they leave it.
I know. That's why I'm like contrasting the two positions right now. But actually, I feel like I want to and just go and live their lives, because the stress
when they go, it's so sad. You're like,
you know, down and yeah. I think it's even worse when like you've got one, so and you're like,
my baby
on your own,
my baby.
Yes. Wow, that's a beautiful one. And there's the notion that as women we are gentle, we are soft, we are nurturers, like you said, but there's that feminine and soft side to us as women.
Yes.
And I would say that it's natural. Now, as a woman in business, now business does not require necessarily, I don't know what your take will be, but business might not always necessarily require into okubana wena uzaba soft, you know. So how do you balance, and business is about fighting, you know. There's a fight. It's like where you're fighting for not a bad kind of fight, but I mean, it business, if you lose exert, you know. So how do you balance the softness, the feminine side, the gentle side of being a woman, and now finding yourself in spaces like being in business where you have to be
Yes.
bold and strong and
Yeah.
yabo.
So the easiest way I can explain it is that you need to be assertive in
Okay.
business. As much as you have your softer side, but you need to be assertive. So if you believe in something, stand by it, you know, and be firm when you believe in it. But at the same time, you don't have to be aggressive.
Okay.
You see, because also an aggressive person is not a
turn
person.
off.
It is a turn off. So I think balancing it is making sure that you're right in the middle.
Okay.
Where you're still soft, but you're very assertive when you
What you stand for
What
is
you
like,
stand for.
don't compromise.
Yes,
But
you don't compromise on that. You know, because if you're too soft, then people take advantage
will
of
walk all over you. They're not going to
Yes.
pay your invoices.
that. Yes.
And they're going to say, "Hi, man, can you do this extra task for me?"
Because
No,
they
man.
know what you'll understand.
And they take advantage of you.
Mhm.
So it's about striking a balance. And I
Yes.
think assertiveness is not rude.
Yes.
It's not wild. It's not, but it's just standing
Yeah.
your ground.
Yeah.
It's just standing your
Yes.
ground. And I think that's
That's
powerful.
exactly it.
That is good. And then when it comes to times of self-doubt, times of fear, times of lack of confidence, I don't know if you get those times, and yes, but that's what I'm asking. When Zanjani in those moments to come out of that, to overcome it, to psych yourself, to but even though kusenzeka yonke lento but I must be okanye mhlambi ngathi zintoni nezikwenza ube lapho most of the time if you know.
I think maybe in business, if I'm hit hard by people that I trusted that disappoint me, people that don't pay me, and put me in a very difficult position when it comes to things that I had planned, because you plan with the money that you're expecting, you know. When it doesn't come, it messes up everything in your life. So at times when those things happen and I'm overwhelmed by other personal things that are happening at the same time, I want to go into my cocoon and just go there and feel sorry for myself. But what I believe, it's important when you need to cry, when you need to run away from everyone, it's important to do that so that at least you can find yourself and shake it off and then come back. But you can't cry for a long time. You can't feel sorry for a long time.
Can't cry, please.
You need to talk to yourself about, okay, it's enough now. You know, I've been feeling sorry for myself for a long time. And also, like I said, you've got people that you're responsible for. You know, you've got your kids. You're going to disappoint them if you don't stand up and do something and shake it off and go back. Go back, continue. Unfortunately, life is like that.
You cannot cry, walala,
No.
we can't do that.
No,
but I think I love the fact that you're balancing it out because you're saying, yes, acknowledge the feelings and the emotions and the bad
Yes,
times and the
yes.
sorry and the yonke lando, you
Yes,
acknowledge it.
yes.
Uyinike ixesha. But imali ngade
Aye.
libe lide.
Ngabe too much.
Lingabi lide kakhulu.
Time it.
Lingabi ewe
Time it.
put a cap,
Deadline. Enough now.
Yeah, I usually say that, you know, I would dedicate time, especially if I want to cry, dedicate time and be like, okay, it's time for it now. If it's 2 hours, it's 2 hours. After that, I need to get back, on continuing with life because ubomi buyamuva and we can't be stuck there.
Yes.
We can't be stuck there. Now, I don't know if you're a reader or not.
I do read whenever I get time.
Yeah.
When I'm lazy, then I go and listen to a book.
A podcast or an audiobook.
Yes,
Sure.
yes.
Now, is there a book that you can be able to recommend to us that funda yenza a difference in your life? Okanye that you feel like yabona apa power ndoz and azifumana.
Yes. So the one book that I read is Who Moved My Cheese.
Who
moved my cheese? Yes.
That's the first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it helps you. It talks about the amazing way of dealing with changes in your life.
Okay.
And it's a thin book. It's very, very thin.
Ne.
So it's easy. It's an easy read. So I think that's the best one to read. And then the second one that I listened to recently, I haven't finished it, but I listened to, is Start With a Why.
Start with a why.
Yeah, especially for business people, because we get into business, we start running, but we actually don't even go back and understand why did we start this in the first place? Because the why is the one that also reminds you when things go wrong. I can't stop because I know my why. That why is the one that motivates you to keep on going.
Yeah.
And you can even find it on YouTube. There's short videos that explain starting with the why. So even before you get to the book, you can you can go and look for that.
Appetizer.
Yes, the appetizer.
Mm.
Yes.
That is so amazing, hey? And I actually always believe that, Nyani, if you don't have that why, when times are tough, uzawusinka.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
there's nothing that's anchoring
Yes,
you.
yes.
But that why iyakwazi actor as anchor
Ikhumbuze.
Yeah.
Ukhumbuze, why did you start?
All right. And then words of encouragement that you can leave with us as women listening in today, especially for women who want to give up,
Yes.
throw in the towel, no longer do I even close business, business, you know, what
Yes.
would you say to someone like that?
I'd say to them, because I've been doing it for like close to 12 years now,
Sure.
it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been an easy journey. So I won't lie and say to people that it's easy. I won't even say to people, leave your jobs and start a business.
Okay.
Start a business if you know why you're doing it.
Sure.
Don't do it just because I'm doing it, you know, because you don't know the things that I went through to get to here.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, so, but at the same time, as much as it's not easy, it's very fulfilling to do your own thing. Eh?
Okay. It
You
is.
know, especially when you achieve things, it's so fulfilling to know, Guti, this is my baby. This is something that I started. And also, women need to understand, Guti, everything is one step at a time.
Okay.
Instead of trying to do everything, that's what we tend to do.
Ne?
We want everything to happen now, and we want the success to happen overnight.
Overnight, yeah.
It doesn't. We need to be patient. You know, we need to know what our breakthrough is going to come at some point, believe in that, and just keep on going. One step at a time.
One step at a time.
Yeah.
That's great advice. And how do we contact you for making use of services as a business?
Okay, so I'm available on almost all social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, even TikTok, and also Instagram.
Okay.
On those platforms, I'm Miranda Lusiba.
Okay.
And then also I've got a company page, a Strange Consulting page on Facebook. So you can also find it there, including all the columns that I write for the Rep newspaper. They're also there. So if you want to read some of the things that I talk about, they're there.
All right.
Yes.
And an email address, or we're going to find everything there?
Well, I
Or
can
a
give you the
contact
email
number.
address. I'm not sure if it's on the page. I'll need to double check. It's miranda@strangeconsulting.co.za.
Miranda, it's strange.
Yeah.
Like strange.
It's written as strange because I can't put the apostrophe on an email.
Oh, yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Sissy, for coming through.
Thank you very much for having me again.
It's been beautiful. It's
Yeah.
been beautiful. All right. To pull up with Gadi Community Radio, that is Miranda Lusiba, Managing Director of Strange Consulting in Ngola Natike, on the theme that says a woman, a business is for you. We are going to be touching on the things that she has spoken of, such powerful nuggets that she has given us that we can be able to make use of as business people. And I hope now you are feeling recharged as much as Nam. I am feeling super duper recharged right now. Masiye in Tengisweni.